going on, guys? Pegasus from the Wisefire Alliance. I got another deck profile that's online. Yes, I do. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Make sure you sub. Make sure you hit the bell. We're here today to do a deck profile on pure Mekk Knights. Yes, it's something I've been goofing off with online. I'm not going to talk too much. I'm just going to jump straight into it. I'm playing 3 of Gersu, the Orcus Mekk Knight, for obvious reasons. His ability to just kickstart massive combos when he's normal summon. You can send the Orcus or World Legacy card from your deck to the grave. Then if there are 2 more cards in his column, you can treat him as a tuner. But his most important thing is his token creation, and his token creation is super duper important. Following that, we have just a cacophony of things, but I first wanted to point out about Ash Blossom. Ash Blossom is super duper important, super duper relevant, but I just couldn't find the space in this particular deck. Now, clearly you can make her, take 1 or 2 cards out that I'll get into a little bit later. I'll move them as flex options, let's just say that. But Ash Blossom sometimes isn't insane the way that I want it to, and a lot of these cards are just better on the spot than Ash Blossom is. Just my opinion. Again, I'll give you a few cards that you can take out a little bit later. But yeah, Orcus, think Gersu, the Orcus is just too good. It's dumbfounding how good the card is, really. That's why I'm kind of slipping over my words. But the main card that you want to dump is World Chalice, World Legacy, because it actually has a little bit of synergy within the deck, because it allows you to plus the next turn when you get to search more World Legacy cards. It's really, really important. Maybe the trap card, the one that stops spells, or the one that stops traps, or secrets being the Call of the Haunted. We'll get to that in a second. Next up, I played 3 Mekk Knight Blue Sky. In other decks that you're kind of mixing, you maybe only play 2 Blue Sky. Some still play 3. But in this deck, in the pure version, you clearly want to play 3 because it is the pure version of the deck. I don't really think that's super duper confusing. I think you guys can figure that out. Next up, we got 2 Mekk Knight Indigo Eclipse. Indigo Eclipse is just, it's what the whole deck is really about because of the synergy with the trap card. We'll get back to that in a second. Purple Nightfall being one of the best cards ever printed, in my opinion, because its winning percentage is so high, and it consistently does this over each format. It has over a 60% winning percentage. I really think it's higher than that. It's closer to 70, but that is what it is with that. Then we have red and yellow to pop spell or traps with the Mekk Knights and go clearly into the columns, usually after the Indigo Eclipse. But these cards definitely have their own synergy that have a powerful impact within the engine itself. Then I played 3 Nibiru and the World Legacy card. Now with the 3 Nibiru, I wanted a hand trap that does something to the massive combo decks that you know you're going to play. If you tell your opponent to go first, which this deck will do, Nibiru is a card that you most likely need over all the other hand traps besides the Impermanence, which I'm playing below. The other impact hand trap card that I wanted to play was Nibiru, and Nibiru was basically what I settled on. Then you have the World Legacy card. Now, here's where you can put in the Ash Blossoms. I'm playing 2 Cyclone. I picked Cyclone simply because I play a lot of back row decks. Whenever I play online, Eldritch, Altergeist, Striker, I play a lot of it. So I'm just going off of what I play against a lot of. If I start playing against other decks, or I expect other decks, even in my locals, then I'm going to make the adjustment from there. I'm playing 3 Dark Ruler No More to go with the Cosmic Cyclones as far as starting off into the spell cards. Dark Ruler No More, super duper powerful. It's the most impactful going second card in my humble opinion. And when a card can impact even against a deck like Altergeist, it can do a little bit of damage. Not all the time if they open protocol, but it can do a little bit, at least a little bit. Now, with the Lightning Storms, again, if you don't play that much back row decks, you may want to slide out 1, put it in the side deck, and then use Ash Blossom. Again, that's another option. But I would at least, with this deck, be playing 2. 3, Pot of Extravagance. Yes, the new print of it just came out, so you can get these a lot easier. I like it. You can play Desires. I don't like Desires at all. I like to draw every single card that's in my deck, and a lot of the times I don't really care what's in my extra deck except for specific stuff. If I have a BLS or an Avramax, I may cut the BLS. I'm not super in love with the BLS, but I do think it is a really good card. But Extravagance is just the quickest and strongest plus that this deck has, and it's immediate. Next up, we got World Legacy Key. Obviously, 1 stops traps. That's what this one does when it's in the same column as a Mekk Knight. Really, really strong, and it also gives a little bit of a boost to a banished card. Then we got World Legacy Succession being the Reborn in the deck. World Legacy Memory being the emergency teleport for the deck, which is this card is extremely underrated. A lot of people play the card, and I don't think anybody ever realizes how ignorant this card is. I played a lot of Cosmos, so I truly believe that this card is really, really powerful. I played 3 impermanents to go along with the Nibiru's as far as hand traps go. I feel like the two together is almost like drawing Exodia when you're going second, and this deck's going to go second. So, Impermanence and Nibiru are the reasons why I chose to have Impermanence and Nibiru, and Dark Ruler if I didn't draw either one of them. So, 9 to 12 cards that I want when I go second, and they're all perfect for what the deck wants to do. The next card, I really feel like the other trap, I just call it the other trap most of the time. It negates spells. It's a trap that negates spells if it's in the same column. Kind of important. It depends, but you get to protect the trap cards and other cards with that if you have a Mekk Knight on the field. So I really think that's important. But World Legacy Secret is easily the best one because it negates monster effects. And with the synergy with Indigo Eclipse, it's simply going to be way too important to not take into account how strong the card actually is. Enough can't be said about the card. When you have a Call to Haunted and a sliding breakthrough skill, I guess that's the best idea I could come up with for on a short notice of a card. I really like Secrets. I could go on and on about that card. I'm playing Scythe to go with the Artifact engine, which I'll get to in a second. Galaxy Cyclone. I got this from an online tournament. I was watching a guy play, and I was watching how he was absolutely destroying people with the same deck. I'm pretty sure it was one of those big tournaments, but Galaxy Cyclone, the way that it can double up, it's going to pop the set card, which is going to be needed, especially with Altergeist. Altergeist is the main reason you play this card. It just goes along perfectly with everything else that the deck is trying to do. And being able to pop again, and you can set it with the Mekk Knights, just like the Mind Control. You can set it with the Mekk Knights and then use it later on in the turn. Really like that. The Artifact Sanctums to go with the Artifact Scythe. Sanctums, pretty much the best trap card, one of the best trap cards in the game. I'm going with Summon Limit just for a unique reason that I like to. Once I have control of the game, the Link plays and the Mekk Knights revolving on and off the field, usually with Purple Nightfall, I don't need to summon as much because cards are then returning. And when cards are then returning, then I have the advantage, and Summon Limit prevents your opponent from catching up to your advantage, if that makes any sense at all. You can play a normal trap card to fit in with the trap trick targets, but I don't really know what other card there could be for right now. Maybe a different Dimension Ground. That's about the only other option I can think of that would be that strong. Dimensional Barrier would be kind of weird just because I don't think it would do a whole lot. That's just my opinion. Last up, with the trap tricks, I got Waking the Dragon. Waking the Dragon being if they go after a trap trick that you said, maybe they lightning storm you. I don't think anybody would do that, but if they do that, which they will, I just know how Yu-Gi-Oh players act. You summon Last Warrior from another planet. I've done it at least 3 or 4 times. People fall for it. I guess it is what it is. The BLS Link, you don't have to play it because I'm not super in love with it. I really feel like Avramax is just such a powerful card. I should probably be playing 3. But sometimes against specific decks, usually Sky Striker, this BLS Link is really, really strong because it gets to take out a Ray. And usually they're not going to have more than 1 Ray. And when you do that, usually you're going to steal advantage of the game completely or just do a heck of a lot of damage. And usually BLS is there to do a heck of a lot of damage when he runs over something. Just my opinion. You can make it a 3rd Avramax again, like I said, or maybe even another card that you don't see down here. Really good card, though. I have to say that. Really, really good card. 2, IP Masquerena. Again, you could probably make that a 3rd one if you took out one of the BLS links. Masquerena is an excellent combo when you go along with Lib. Lib being able to search any of the World Legacy cards. But I make Avramax with the 2 a lot. Or I use it with the Mekk Knight card once I kind of have them stunned. This card, Morningstar, completely stunts what they try to do a lot. And then I like to go into the Avramax. If I don't go into Avramax, then I usually go into Spectrum Supreme, which is after that. Hope you guys like the deck profile. Let me know what cards you would like to see in the deck, what cards I probably could play that would be better. And I'll see you next time. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. I'm out. YG, baby.